Hello, my name is ST, and we're doing a video here discussing the mech deck, one of four starter decks for Disaster World's very first set. And this is kind of like our control set, if you will. This deck focuses primarily on manipulation of your own hand and your opponent's hand, as well as destruction of cards. And surveillance is kind of like the theme in both like the artwork and its playstyle itself. So I'm going to start off with our alpha here. And alpha is masterboard. Once per turn, you can draw a card. If the card has mech in its name, get 1 point. It's got 45 health. It's very reliable in getting you just that little bit of extra card advantage, and then it bulks it up by giving you extra energy to help pay for the expensive cost of some of your creatures. You're gonna follow that up with the main card of the set and your main card of your archetype. Everything kind of follows with this one, and that is Mech Agent. Once per turn, look at the top card of your opponent's deck. If it is a boost, kill one creature on the field, and that's one creature of your choosing. It has 6 attack, 14 health, and a cost of 5. And you're gonna see what I mean when everything kind of links around this base card, but you're going to want to be using that destruction ability as much as possible, and all the effects really help you do that. So for example, Mech Drone. Upon play, look at the top 3 cards of your opponent's deck. It's the easiest to play, it has the lowest energy cost, and it also takes up a lot of hits, having 10 health and 2 attack, makes it pretty good at just soaking up damage. So it's kind of there to provide just a little bit of a wall and some information. That way later when you go on to play your Mech Agent, you know exactly when to hit that ability and destroy stuff. But yeah, this is kind of like your foundational card, and it really helps you with that ability. Now, the next step up from just knowing the card information is the one right above Mech Agent, your Mech Destroyer. 8 costs, 10 damage, 20 health. Once per turn, look at your opponent's hand, select one creature from their hand and place it, or select one card from their hand and place it on the top of their deck. This one makes it guaranteed your ability will happen, because you can then place a boost card there and then immediately trigger the next ability to make that effect just run seamlessly. To compensate for this, it does have a higher cost, meaning that you'll probably get access to it later in the game. Finally, the final creature for the mech deck is Mech Metal Drake. And it's got 12 cost, 14 damage, 14 attack, and 30 health. And this creature attacks the opponent's alpha directly. It's really your late game finisher. And it actually is separate. I would consider it separate from the main 3 mech cards because it's actually better used with the Calamity. So I'll revisit that. Starting on with our boost cards. Your effect cards are Surveillance. Look at the top 2 cards of your opponent's deck. Really simple, a version of Mech Drone's effect, slightly weaker because it doesn't look at 3 cards, but it's there just in case you don't have Mech Drone and you just wanted to play a Mech Agent without it, or you didn't have Mech Destroyer just yet. So it's a good placeholder card. If you are modifying this deck and you have extra cards, I would recommend subbing these out for something else, because they're the easiest ones to kind of switch out if you're trying to meta your playstyle. Next, in the effect cards, you're gonna have your experimental device X. Really simple, discard the top 2 cards of your deck and gain 2 energy. This one is mainly used when you need to get that little bit of extra energy to move on to the next creature. For example, let's say you're on like turn 3 where you want to get out your agent. So you can play this with the 3 energy you just got from that turn, add that extra 2, and then you can go ahead and jump right into your agent. If you go ahead and use the 4 on turn 3 or turn 4, you can get it to a Mech Destroyer much easier. And then, as you progress turn by turn, maybe Mech Metal Drake in there, or you can use 2 of these if you just want to play a drone but you don't have the energy for it off the bat. Very versatile, very good card in the early stages, or whenever you just need to get out a really powerful creature. Next up for attachments, This one's a pretty good one. It's Cyberblade. This creature gains 4 attack. Really simple effect, but still really important because it turns simple, really bulky cards like Mech Drone into more of an offensive threat. And it can bulk up basically your regular Mech Agent into a 10 damage card, which is really good because if it's attacking directly, which it will often do with its ability, you can easily take out an alpha in around 3 to 4 turns. Meaning this is very, very beneficial for your strategy. Kind of following that up is Tactical Upgrade. It says whenever this creature attacks, discard the top card of your opponent's deck. This is used when you know what cards your opponent has. So let's say you've just played a Mech Drone and you can see their top 3. You know what they're going to draw next turn. And if you have like 2 creatures and the third one is a boost, I would recommend using this because it allows you to get past that second creature and then onto the boost. That way you can start using the effect. In general, also, kind of these milling destruction effects are also pretty good because of the limited deck size. Remember, you only have 20 cards to play the game, so getting rid of anything can hurt quite a bit. Now this is more for yourself, but this is Oblivia. It's your field card. Once per turn, you can rearrange the top 5 cards of your deck in any order. This one has a direct effect because it allows you to grab whatever you need for your combo at the time or just to get out certain cards when you need them. But it's actually best used with Masterboard's ability because it allows you to place the Mech cards up at the top. That way you can draw them as a secondary alongside its effect. That's its main usage, but it functions really well in any deck. So if you get the Mech starter deck and you want to kind of diversify and get some more cards, still keep this thing around. Finally, you have the Calamity. Upon play, draw 3 cards and play any creatures with Mech in their name without using energy for this turn. Very, very, very solid card. How I would kind of use it is I like to play it and then immediately, with saving my hand, my 2 Mech Metal Drakes. Because with those, you're at 28 damage directly to the alpha. Game's over in about 2 turns. If you sub in a third by like swapping out a Surveillance or something else, it can even be over in 1 turn, especially if you built up the damage. Now, of course, the cost is that you really can't get any more energy after you play this, so be careful. Because if your opponent can survive 1 singular turn and they have like a Chain Eruption or something else that can quickly wipe out your board, Lightning Strike, something else that kind of like hits everything and allows for like big damage on the return, this can put you in a pickle because everything else kind of has like a really high, steep cost. So be careful when you're playing this. Apart from that, that's kind of it for the deck. Every combo, there's no like really, really specific, unique combos beyond just how you play the cards in order. Again, I would really focus on getting out your Mech Agents first and then supporting them with your drones and destroyers, tactical upgrades, cyberblades, and experimental devices. But that's kind of it for this video. And remember, subscribe to the channel and leave a comment.